We are real estate experts.
We're the only realtors you'll ever need. Also, we're fun, and our friends are fun. Come on over to the open house.
Well, I'm always worried about this, like,
Well,
little fat roll.
I want to pull a sculpt muscle, but like that's not what my arms look like normally.
Fat roll, right? Yours don't have a fat roll.
No,
I
we
have
look
that
good.
like special.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, we're talking about our arms.
it's on.
And Natalie's like an award-winning Architectural Digest published. Also, one of my best friends, but like a real like designer contractor extraordinaire, which ties in perfectly with real estate. But all we care about are whether our arms look fat.
Yay! Little fat roll.
Yeah, I just want to do this.
It's like dangerous to wear like these tops. Like you
But
might just
also
have like,
I
like
know-
a muffin pit.
But I know how good your arms always look. So I feel like we look. I feel like this is right. This is
I'm
right.
allowed to have a muffin pit. Yes.
Welcome,
Wait,
Natalia.
so we heard something fell, but
Yeah.
and
Natty, we made her wait for the story.
Okay, you
Right.
guys.
Okay.
I can't believe I might cry. I'm just gonna warn
Oh,
you.
wow.
Oh, I want you to cry.
I might cry.
That'd be good for the
Like
podcast.
I already feel it.
Right.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
so I went to see a medium, but I didn't know the medium was doing readings. I thought it was about a friend invited me. I said, yes, I'll be right there.
Right.
And I thought I was like going to learn how mediums become mediums. Like,
Right.
What do I clear? Where's my
It was
chakra?
like a how-to to become a medium.
Well, I thought maybe it was just like I don't know. So well, in true Natty fashion, I did zero research. I just said, yeah, I'll come.
Oh,
and I
it's
showed
such a
up.
fun idea to do it.
I didn't look the person up.
Also, I know the story, but I want you to
Oh,
tell
you do
John.
know it.
No, you told me, but I want you to tell John.
Okay. So
I just didn't want people to think I was like faking knowing it.
okay. So I blindly walk into this place, right? And the woman does a thing and she talks and it's like, what it is. And then she says, oh, okay, so if y'all don't mind, I'm going to start, I have some people entering. I'm going to start doing some readings. And I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm like, do
Because
tell.
you've always been into that stuff anyway.
I'm so
you love
into it. Listen,
we went to Tyler Henry together.
back to a lot of houses.
Natty bought my ticket. She's such a
Oh, wow.
stud. Yeah.
Every single house I do has energy in it, right?
Yes.
And some of them are kind of neutral, like, and some of
Yeah.
them I'm like, oh, there's stuff.
Yeah.
There's definite like
Something's
homes have
here.
stuff.
You can feel it. There's like a residue for
Yeah,
sure.
And it's important to feel that, I think. Anyway. So
Well,
go
I
to
know
this-
buyers feel it.
and sellers hide it.
Oh yeah, hard to sleep under the rug.
Although now you have to have it in disclosures.
That's true. All right,
Really?
sorry. I
Okay.
digress. I didn't mean
So
to cut you.
I go to the thing, and the lady starts talking about the energies that have entered the room, and she said, "There's a man here. He's a dad. He was a little bit older, and he had there's pain down here." She said, "I think it's cancer in like a lower organ."
Oh, that's crazy.
And I'm already thinking, my dad died of kidney cancer. I'm already like, okay.
Yeah.
And then she says, "Oh, his name is William." And I'm like,
Oh, no.
that's my dad.
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, hi." And then we start talking, and then he was there. Like it was
But-
intense.
Like you felt
Wait,
it.
how was he there?
You felt that he was there.
yeah, like
Was he
she
answering
could
questions
clearly
and
see
stuff?
him. And she knew he was. She said, "He's with Helen, my Aunt Helen."
Are they?
Yes, they know each other. They're friends.
hang out?
Yes.
Helen and
And
Willie?
and yeah,
And she
she's-
knew the name Helen out of the
Yeah,
blue.
no, she said
That's
she
impressive.
said he's with a woman, but it's not your mom. It's a different, like a friend woman.
Yeah.
Helen. And I'm like, that's my Aunt Helen.
Wait,
That's
where
crazy.
where was
and
this?
great.
Also wild.
It was in West Hollywood.
In West Hollywood in a McMansion.
But was it were you there for the house or were you there for?
No, I
for-
got invited for the medium. And I was like,
Oh.
yay. But
We're not
I
saying any
didn't
names,
know.
but she was with somebody that she referred us to as a client.
Lovely little person.
Yeah, lovely person.
Lovely
Lovely.
person.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
So
we just
anyway,
don't say any names.
it was a wild evening, and I did cry, like burst, like cartoon cry. The tears like shot out of my eyes, and it was embarrassing. Everyone else
Like
everyone else that
That?
got visited by like, a relative or whatever, they were like, "Oh, how cool! What are they doing?"
Well,
blah,
also,
blah, blah.
was it not their dad?
Me? I was like,
Closer.
I mean, ugly, couldn't like strangulation, and I'm like, tell him I like.
Oh,
So crazy. It was
Wow.
nuts.
That's so powerful.
But
It was
did he say
powerful.
anything that you were able to latch on to?
There were two things that I wanted the most, and because I was a little little bit of a mess when he died. Like my life wasn't quite as pulled together, and
Yeah.
so
Well, we're in all of ours.
and
A work in progress.
work in progress. And so it always kind of bothered me that he didn't get to see me be successful.
Yeah.
You know, and she said that he does see that he's always with me, that he's very proud of me. And that was like,
Oh, that is so
yeah.
sweet.
And
Yeah.
then she sees Willie. You know, I named my son after my dad, William
Right.
Willie.
So,
And
Oh my
that was
gosh.
also
So
annoying because
sweet.
I was like, my dad didn't get to meet Willie, you know, but she said he does.
Oh
He
my
knows
gosh,
him.
that's so
Yeah,
amazing.
but he's
Now-
always there.
Worth the price
I
of
wanna
admission, I'll
cry.
tell you that. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, what a
crazy.
special night.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, take it for what it is. But
I'm taking it for all that it is. It's
Right? You
amazing.
don't need to look too closely. It felt great.
Well,
I mean,
Now,
no,
wait,
it didn't.
did
I
she-
bawled,
did
but then
she
it
no,
felt
know-
great.
it felt good. Like it hurt so good.
but wait, did she know
Hurts
you
so
at all? Like,
No,
did
and
she
not only did
able
she-
to
No.
Google
Are you ready
you?
for this? So I went with a friend, right?
Uh-huh.
So I was the +1.
No
So there was
way.
there was
So
no basis.
Yeah.
There
No
was
basis.
no way she would have
No,
any.
strange person.
Was there any way she would have known your name at all?
Yes, the only time she knew my name was about maybe 5 minutes before this happened. So, as she said, "Oh, there's a lot of energies here. I need to read this." Blah blah blah. She
Right.
said, "I think we need to go around the room and say our names." And like, she said, "I need your name out loud so I can connect with the person." And so she knew my name for maybe 5 minutes, but like in front of me.
Yeah.
I said, Natalie Zudin, and she
No,
never
wait.
walked
so
away.
there's a whole group of people, and she said,
There
"I
was
need
20.
to know."
There was only 20 people.
20
It was pretty
people.
intimate.
Very intimate.
And we all just went around and said her name.
Oh my gosh!
And
this
then, she never got up and left. She never like went to her computer or anything. Like, so my name was
Did-
only known.
did she
somehow
have
the
an-
name must trigger something too, right?
No, but did she
I
have an
think so.
earpiece
Okay.
in?
Yes, the FBI was feeding
No,
her.
no, but you know those little earpieces where they have in, and somebody's backstage just going da da la la la
No,
la
it's
la.
too
It
deep.
was
Was
not
there
like
Van
any-
Halen and everything? That's
we
too,
were
that's
in
too much detail.
we were in a living room.
Yeah, because there's no way they could have figured out
Wait
anything.
till
No.
I
right?
tell you the rest. Like all the other people in the room, like the specifics, the details, the things she was pulling out of the air. Like she's like, "Oh, your grandpa Tio is with his friend Jack. They're playing cards and smoking cigars." And like the person was
Would
like,
people just burst into tears?
Yeah,
it
well,
was
no.
like Tyler Henry. Remember Tyler Henry?
yeah.
So that was crazy. It was a giant auditorium of people. Well, I didn't expect. I thought it would be more intimate. I thought it'd be a little more intimate. I still knew it would be big because it was like
Yeah.
kind of a big sold out
Yeah.
show. But people were on the mic, like kind of in the aisles. It almost felt like a little Pentecostal, like where it was like, "Can I get an
Yeah,
amen?"
yeah.
God,
and
I
people
do.
would
I'm a
kind
little
of break
wild
down.
Pentecost.
Oh,
I
it's so
swear to
much
God, I
fun, though.
relate. I'm like, I will
for it.
dance in the
Well, and
aisle.
also
amen.
everyone would
Yeah.
almost everyone would start breaking down on the big
Yeah.
mic, right? Because you're kind of on
I-
display. It's like very vulnerable.
Yeah.
If they got something right,
yeah.
people would break down.
Right.
Wait, you told us last time. Let's talk about the fact that this is the third time we're recording this podcast. With
No,
Natalie.
let's not talk about that.
Nobody needs to know.
I think
We
we
had
should
some
talk
technical
about it.
difficulties.
Well, we
Some
decided
audio.
we haven't
Yeah.
seen each other lately enough anyway, so we basically now are
perfect.
series regulars in each other's lives
Yeah.
in the way we kind of needed to be anyway. So
Right.
it's just technical difficulties.
Things work out.
It's a
It
cover
was-
story.
It was the universe.
It was the
Yeah.
universe. But
Bringing
also
us
Bob
together.
Vila, talking about your dad, one of the episodes I thought was so poignant because I asked you how did you always know you wanted to be, because I think you are a trailblazer to be a female contractor in
Yeah.
LA with like
Well,
high-end properties.
Designer and contractor.
Yeah, the designer is more of a female-driven industry, but I mean, they're both impressive. But I was asking about the contracting, and you said
Yeah.
Bob Vila with your dad.
Yeah.
is how it started.
I remember, I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday, weekend mornings.
Right.
Bob Vila was on, and me and my dad were there for it. And
Not Scooby Doo, but Bob Vila.
oh, this old house. I
Wow.
died for this old house. I always loved it. And then even in every apartment I ever had,
you
it was
always customized it and
on
made
a dime.
it gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure it was a dime. It might have been like a penny. It was like, can I find some free stuff and hang it up all around?
It was
and like,
amazing.
Yeah.
The last one when we lived in the same apartment building, downstairs and upstairs, and Natalie's was like a mid-century palace, right?
It was
so
fun.
amazing.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
You customized everything. It was so good. Did
Super
you make the
fun.
kitchen cabinets even? No.
No, I did. I did Mylar wallpaper from
Yes.
eBay that
Oh,
I
that
got for
stuff
like
was-
$80.
That stuff was gorgeous, though. The whole
was so
place was
good.
gorgeous.
Wait,
It
the
was
one
so
that
rich
was-
and decadent.
The one
On
on
Fountain.
Wow.
Fountain. What's the fastest way to get to
eBay.
Hollywood?
Fast
eBay.
Egg
Fountain.
Fountain. Lucille Ball.
But like, what compelled you to get into design and then get your contractor's license? Like,
So I was into design, but also my dad was a plumber, and I think just kind of being around it and seeing, to me when I was a kid, it was magic. Like, how are people putting this stuff together? Like, how does that standing?
Yeah.
How is that like? But it seemed kind of like a far-reaching dream, and I don't think I ever felt like, I honestly didn't think I could do it. Like, it just seemed like a man's job, like da-da-da. It just didn't even occur to me.
Wow.
Until I got into design and I worked for a contractor. And then I'm like, oh, this is just, if you do A, B, and C, you end up at D.
Yeah.
And then I
Right.
was like, I can do this.
Yeah.
You just have to do it.
Do you think working for that name brand guy who shall remain nameless, but do you think it imbued
He
you with
doesn't
like a
have to.
giant amount of confidence working for him because you started to realize that you were running crews and doing stuff without him a lot, so you realized you could do it, right?
Yeah, I worked for an amazing contractor, designer, like kind of a prodigy, and I think he gave me the ability, whether I wanted it or not. It was sort of like throw you in the deep end and you'll swim, or you won't.
Yeah.
And I think that
Yeah.
even though it was really hard and like a lot of life lessons learned and a lot of unfortunate things happened, you know, sometimes you got to learn the hard way. And
Totally.
the good thing with construction is it may cost time and money, but no one's going to die.
No one's
like,
gonna
no one
die.
lost
Right,
an eye.
right.
Like, okay, we're going to remove a few tiles or go backwards, or but like it's okay.
well, to
Also,
know
you're a good
not
problem
only
solver.
design but also know your way around a ball cock is really.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is? Do you know what that is?
Do you have to bring in a ball cock?
I gotta
like it's
replace one. I
inappropriate.
literally have to replace one in the bathroom.
What is it?
It's the bathroom
Oh, it's
thing.
in our toilet
we're-
isn't flushing?
it's our toilet.
My
is-
mom coming tonight?
Yeah.
Well, then it is important. Then it is important.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's crazy to like know that much stuff about all that stuff.
Well, your learning curve was probably like incredibly fast and furious, right? I mean, like you learn on the job.
You learn on the job and you learn by mistakes, which is not necessarily the best way, but honestly,
But
kinda.
other people's mistakes, right? Or
No, everyone's.
Everyone's.
Yeah.
Everyone's. And you know what? I'm very lucky that the crews I've worked with have been so supportive, or at least we got there.
You have really good people.
We might have had a
Don't
few
you
fights,
think you're
but
as
we
good
got
as
there.
the people you have great people that you work with.
You're only as good as your worst guy,
Yeah.
right? And like I feel like I got very lucky and met people who have taken care of me and been like, no.
You didn't get lucky. You built in with them because of how lovable and easy to work with you are.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
Like,
But
not luck.
it's been years and years of building.
Yeah.
You don't just like show up and have like immediate respect.
No.
You
Right.
work together and
Yeah.
get it. Yeah.
yeah, I mean that would be. I know for me when I walk in a place, and we talked about this before, which was the fact that I think it's a teardown and you think can be amazing. And,
She always
And
thinks
then-
there's something to be done. Always.
Well, and there's always
but
something
the
to
one
be saved.
on Fernwood, that
Yeah.
I thought it was a complete I couldn't conceive any which way of how you would do it.
I didn't think it was a
And
teardown,
then-
but I didn't think it would end up being the palace you
It
made
was
it.
charming as hell.
It's adorable.
Now, to be fair, I thought that entrance was a teardown initially, or not even I didn't think it was a teardown. I thought it needed to be pushed out,
Right.
and it turned out that what we did by raising the ceiling, we never had to push out, and we lowered the entrance,
It
and
made
so
it
it
feel so
all,
much deeper and more grand. Like
It's
everything.
fine.
but
felt
when you
bigger
walk
and
into the
airier.
place, it looks amazing.
It's a non-issue now. It's remember
Yeah.
when we first walked in, it was like, oh,
Right.
and now it just feels like important. It's got the
Yeah.
big beam.
But
We
you'd
saved
even-
the beam. Save it. Don't.
But I even
No,
think what you
don't
do for a
throw shit
living
away.
compared to what we do is even more pressure on the table in terms of people are spending their hard-earned money, whether it came easy or not, whether there's a lot of it or not. Either way, they have skin in the
Yeah.
game and basically have giant expectations about what's going to happen, and you have to manage it along the way because it's like it's not a finite. It's a project that goes for months and months. So managing people's expectations and your interpersonal skills are like a giant part of it. Whereas real estate, it's similarly that.
Oh,
but
I
it's
would
a much
think
more
so.
condensed. And escrow is, generally between 30 and 35 days. So it's like
Yeah.
you're only on the hook at summer camp for a few weeks.
Right.
You're a client for life, but like the real meat and potatoes of like the managing of expectations is much more condensed. Like whereas you kind of have to keep the
could be a
communication
year.
lines good and wonderful. Yeah, it could be a year,
of-
depending on this project.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
It's all fine.
Nothing to worry about here.
What's the thing? You told us.
Well,
you told us on one episode what that's called.
Oh, rocking the baby.
Oh,
Oh, you gotta rock the
But I
baby.
feel like
thought it was
anyone could take
cradle
that
the
for their
baby.
own careers.
Cradle the
Any
baby,
any
rock the
careers where
baby.
you have interpersonal.
But that can
relations.
be true for anything, you know, and really it's pretty condescending, and I think that's actually how the term was born, was with maybe a client who is misbehaving.
But I like that because you're taking your power back a little bit.
But yeah, it's like, okay, I understand that you're freaking out and you're upset, and sometimes
Right.
rightfully so, sometimes not.
Yeah.
You know, and you just
Yeah.
have to know, like, okay, if I just rock the baby and I pat your back and I lay you down
gonna
for a
be
nap,
okay.
Yeah.
we're all gonna be
Well, it's
okay.
a reminder
Tomorrow
also-
will still come.
I have to
Right.
remind
You know?
myself sometimes because it's like you want to do a good job and you want to make sure everybody's okay, happy with you. So that's like, you know, you have to stay professional, and part of staying professional is really taking control of the situation and being like, I'm not going to be vulnerable and be defensive. I'm going to rock the baby.
And yeah, be
It's like a
people
modicum
pleasing.
of control. You can
Yeah.
a mantra to remind yourself that you're in the driver's seat.
It's true, because
Right.
you can walk away and be like really aggressive and like, you know, you're
Snippy-
gonna owe extra
snippy
money.
and
This is
have a
messed
conflict.
up, and
Yeah.
like people freak
Right.
out, right?
Totally.
Or you can go, okay, this wasn't ideal, and we didn't want it to happen, but we're gonna do every precaution possible to make it from this point forward really easy for you.
Right.
Right.
But these are the steps we're going to take, and this is what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
And it's something like I have watched people do this where they go in aggressive and talking about the bottom line. It's like, let's just, you know, kind of baby step towards that bottom line.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Totally.
We're going to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
No, it's like, it really is like such a great mantra, because I also think as a person who's self-employed and deals with a lot of different people
Yeah.
and personalities, it's a reminder that you can control the narrative if you know how to deal with people and not take it so personally.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
can't
mean?
imagine real
It's
estate.
very, oh, wow.
Because at least like with my budget, things are
Right.
typically like kind of planned for.
Yeah.
Like, well, we have, you know, 200,000 for this reno.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Whereas like with you, it's like you're buying $1 million house.
And it's a lot of, you
And
know,
you
for
gotta
a
put
lot of
something
times,
into it.
yeah.
Yeah.
it's like-
Yeah.
real estate
Yeah.
is emotional for people too. It's like so much of their like hopes and dreams about their lives are tied up in what they can afford, what neighborhood. You know, it's like
Yeah.
people like have knee-jerk reactions, and you see a lot of emotional sides of people. You have to really be the person who's like the nonpartisan kind of
Yeah.
like objective,
Yeah.
fearless leader.
Yeah. I
I'm
see
worried
that.
about my mic because I don't hear it that much, but I hear it a little.
I hear it a little.
Okay, good. I'm
And I
here.
see it a little.
Take 4.
Ah! Natalie's just gonna move in.
I'm already
Yeah.
ready. Well, I love this ADU.
What are we gonna talk
by
about
the
it
way,
on the
speaking
fourth
of,
time?
I
Yeah.
love this ADU so much. I could just move right in here.
Oh
Yeah.
God,
We
it's the
could
best
just have
thing
you
we
on
ever
every
did.
day.
The ADU is. I wish you had been doing what you're doing
Every
now when we
day.
did it, because we would have hired you. But it's the best thing we ever did was to give it a little bit of an outdoor separate space, right? With your 3
So
kids.
smart.
This
It's
was a
so
2-car garage.
Yeah. Well, and also our house would feel too small. It's just like, I just think what feels big about a house is not necessarily the square footage. It's like the more places people can park their asses that are like disparate kind of vignettes.
Yeah, I
the more
agree.
sprawling it feels.
Vignettes.
Right?
Yeah.
I love that word.
Yes. It sort of
Well-
just spreads out
Yeah.
sort of the feeling of a home to have different splashes of vignette with
Yeah.
tushies parked.
But
Yeah,
it's very much,
I know.
we're just following in the Mark Maron's footsteps, where we just do it from the garage.
Oh, I love Mark Maron.
Aw.
Do you listen to
From the garage.
podcasts or no?
A lot, because I drive a lot, but you just told me about it, and I haven't listened to it, but I'm going
Do you
to.
love? What do
yeah.
you love? Like, do you do smart lists or do you
I
do
go all over. I'm
all
all
over?
over.
I'll
the
pick.
place.
I'll give random ones a shot.
Oh, me too. No, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like a topic will pop into my
Yeah.
head, and then
You
I'm
type it
like,
in.
oh, I'm typing in
Yeah.
DIY
Type in
tile.
Well,
Like
no,
I'm gonna
that's
listen to
it.
that later.
I've
Yeah,
discovered
yeah.
You know,
some
like whatever it
decent
is.
ones from doing that, because I just think they become these canonized favorites over and over, like books.
Yeah.
Don't tell me there aren't a few that don't make these like erudite lists that aren't great. You know,
Right.
I'm like
Oh, for
willing to give
sure.
something a shot. It's like I'll give it 10 minutes. I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna,
listen, I'm on
If
the
it
road.
doesn't-
It takes me
if it
40 to
doesn't
get
ring
to
my
Beverly
bell-
Hills. I promise you, I'll give you 10 minutes.
Do you
Yeah,
listen
yeah.
to design ones or no?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I don't.
Is there a popular design one you like, or there's like a lot of them? Like it's sort of a
That's
wide
a
net.
great question. There's none that
I
I'm
would be
married
interested.
to.
I'm always
There's
interested
none
in
that
that
I'm married
stuff.
to.
Okay.
Remember for a while I was listening to the flip lady, the flip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Debbie
that was-
DeBerry.
Well, that got
And-
us into our first
and
Debbie
I,
DeBerry.
together.
that got us into
That
our first flip
inspired
together.
us.
Like she was really inspiring. I
Yeah.
listen to that all the time.
Yeah, I love it. I
Yeah.
love the idea that it's women based.
A woman-based,
Speaking
do
of
it yourself.
women, have you seen Ellen's new?
No, I heard
Do you
about it.
know
I haven't
that?
seen it. She seems
Oh
a little
my
bitter.
God.
So Natalie loves
She's
Ellen. Natalie, do you still love her?
Oh my God. Well, okay. So here's the thing.
She was great in her comeback. I liked
was
her stand up.
amazing.
I thought it was.
I didn't see
she
it.
faced that
Oh.
thing right down. What are you gonna do?
and
What are you
also-
gonna do? Ignore it?
Am I such a bitch? Am I really a bitch? Fuck you. Why do I? Can
Well,
I say
also,
that?
she
Can
kind
I
of
say
said
that?
like
Oh,
I
am
never
I
really
allowed-
wanted to be
Well,
in
yeah.
I don't have to
charge.
clear
It
this.
was a sign.
Some of this
I
stuff
was a
was
comedian
insane.
for hire on my show. I
Right.
never really wanted to be the boss. That wasn't really who I was. I was I was a dancing monkey.
And also, like, I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
some people had it coming.
No.
Why? Like, why do I have to be
Yeah.
so nice?
Well, I think she's
No,
really
you-
exhausted.
She
and
coulda
it was
rocked
a
the
big
baby.
job. She had about 12. She had about 12
coulda-
shows
yeah,
going
she
at
coulda
one
rocked the
point.
baby.
She might have rocked the baby
All
a
right,
little
she
more.
didn't rock the
I
baby.
have
She
a
did
feeling.
not rock the baby.
I have a
There's-
feeling there's two sides to
I
that,
bet she
right?
could be a pain
Yeah,
in the
there's
ass,
two.
I
but
think
a
so.
million people can't be wrong. But I will also say she was facing a lot. She was
Well,
up against a lot.
I agree.
And maybe you catch not that many bees as an executive of your own, like, making with honey.
Right.
Maybe you have to be kind of a jackass sometimes to get shit done.
to get shit
I don't
done.
know though. Some of the stories are hilarious where she's prankster and
I don't
she
even really know
talks
the
about
particulars.
being a
I just
prankster
I knew from
at work,
personal
and then
sources.
she's like, now that I say that out loud, maybe that wasn't
Wasn't so nice.
Yeah, that
Or,
wasn't
like,
so
maybe
nice.
it was.
I just love her little
I
cadence.
know.
She's got this quiet
Yeah.
little voice, and she's just kind of very like,
Oh,
just
yeah.
sort of like approachable, and she was good
I'm
in the
not
special.
mad at her.
Oh,
I
she's
thought she was
great.
good.
I thought she was great.
She
Anyway.
Right.
broke
May have done
barriers.
some
She was like an
stuff.
important
She broke
person in
barriers.
history. Let's just
Yeah.
be real.
And you know
right?
what? Maybe being nice doesn't serve you,
No,
right?
listen.
Where does,
If
the,
it
ni-
were-
where does the nice
if it
guy
were
finish?
about nice,
Yeah. Well,
be a different
what's
algorithm.
for lunch?
are we out?
Oh,
I think we're out.
All right.
really?
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh,
Do you feel like we shut you down?
Can you
I
come?
want taquitos.
Can you come back tomorrow?
I'm on my way.
Let's
It's
see
in
if
my
they-
planner.
let's
It's in
see
my
if this
It's in
sound-
my old lady planner.
Let's check this. Let's check the gate.
I
We
love
never
it.
know.
All right. We're gonna check the gate.
We love
Well,
you.
thanks for having me.
I love you. I
Thanks
can't.
for coming
you.
over.
I can't wait till I have the juice to have you do that pink bathroom inside from the
Uh,
70s.
I'm coming.
The
every
bathroom
week.
where we ran out of gas.
We're talking about it
All
every
right,
week.
we'll make an episode
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
every week.
I love you. Thank you.
Love you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye, even though you're still here.
Bye.